In 1994, The Adventures of Mighty Max was developed by Ocean Software for Genesis and Super NES. I've been playing with the Genesis version, but luckily they're both the same. This is a 1 or 2 player game, and I played the 1 player exclusively. The Mighty Max series spans across board games, cartoons, toys from large to pocket-sized, and a bunch of other things. So it was only natural that it gets a game. When you see the cartridge, it has many throwbacks to the cartoon. Skullmaster lingering threateningly in the back, with Max and Company in the front. The box for Genesis and Super NES both explicitly and proudly proclaim that this game is exactly like the cartoon. Now, The Adventures of Mighty Max was chock full of everything you'd need for a decent 90s cartoon. An unwilling hero who must step up to the occasion, time-traveling epic fights, and characters had real deaths, so this was very different at the time. Instead, it seems as if Ocean got the license to Mighty Max and said, hey, let's just slap some sprites together and throw it in this generic puzzle platformer. If this game didn't have The Adventures of Mighty Max name on it, this would actually be a pretty cool game. Now, I won't lie, I spent 45 minutes trying to figure this game out. Eventually, I realized this damn arrow meant something. It will lead you to an item, and once you pick up the item, the arrow will then lead you to a portal. The numbers here will tell you how many items are left on the map. It drove me nuts that something so simplistic has such a huge impact on this game. However, after learning how this game works, it's smooth sailing from here on out. There are 5 theme levels with 5 stages in each. There aren't any boss fights, so you'll just play through. As you complete each theme level, it gets replaced with a new one. Max and Company all have ping pong guns, and unfortunately, they're all non-lethal. Once enemies are hit, they get stunned, and you now can pick them up to kill them. Once they're thrown off, enemies will not come back, which is really nice. Though I did have issues with picking up enemies because if you weren't positioned correctly, inputs just wouldn't register. The jump was also a finicky beast. Press too hard and you'll jump super high, press too light and you'll barely move. It was hard to get the movement just right, but it seems that with enough practice, you can overcome it. There aren't many cheats, and really, it's not a hard game, but I did use infinite lives just for some yucks. When I died, the game crashed, and I had to restart it. So I eventually opted out of cheats just to avoid issues, so player beware. As of March 2018, it's going about $4.50 for a loose cartridge. If this game wasn't attached to a franchise, I think this is an okay puzzle platformer. I can see the potential for speedruns, since you can get through really fast if you know where all the items are. However, the box, the manual, the cover art, and even the setting of the game all scream Mighty Max. So there was high expectations that this was going to be a cool side-scroller or an action-adventure like, the cartoon. This is such a letdown, so beware if you plan to purchase this game. This is a good puzzle platformer that has barely anything to do with the cartoon.